What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. One of your hosts, Brad, joined by my co-host, Micah.
Hello.
And Carrie.
I'm back.
She's back after clearing her very, very busy schedule to join us here on the show.
You joke, but I am perpetually stretching myself.
You are
Thinner and thinner and thinner.
I've learned to scale back over the years. I do this every week, and pretty much I guess I'm the regular co-host on Look Forward now, unofficially, because Andy hasn't been on in a long time. But I've kind of learned that's my threshold, and then with the odd golden tongues thrown in here or there, which look forward to that coming soon because it's been recorded, and it's about to be in the can sometime later this week. So it's very cool. But yeah, it seems like staying busy is very on brand for Carrie. Also on brand today, a little organization known as FIFA, who have decided it's in their interest to part ways with Electronic Arts and not allow EA to license the FIFA name branding for future FIFA games, including FIFA 23. So wow. EA Sports has rebranded the series as EA Sports FC, but they have said that the game will remain otherwise unchanged. Now, Carrie and Micah, I know that you guys probably don't understand just how stupid this is on the behalf of FIFA. So, in American sports, you have the sports organization, and then all of the clubs that play in that organization are franchisees of the main sport. So, you have, Major League Baseball, and then the Baltimore Orioles are a franchise of Major League Baseball, and the New York Yankees are a franchise Major League Baseball. And they're not owned by Major League Baseball, but they are essentially a subsidiary of Major League Baseball. And so Major League Baseball holds a tremendous amount of rights when it comes to those teams. They hold they hold in their hand the rights to the team's logos and the team's stadiums and things of that nature for licensing purposes. And it works that way with all American sports. That's not what FIFA does, because FIFA is a governing body. FIFA is kind of the overseer of world football. And all of the leagues and all of the clubs within those leagues are independently owned and operated companies, for lack of a better term, that just happen to participate in those leagues, which is why you get things like promotion and relegation in world football and things of that nature. So the closest American comparison to what FIFA is the NCAA. The NCAA governs all of college sports, really, and then all of the conferences are the world foot is the SEC is UEFA in soccer terms, and the ACC is is CONCACAF, which is the North American International Soccer Federation. And then all of those sports leagues all of those agencies run the leagues that play within them. So the Premier League is a subsidiary of UEFA and the English football system and stuff like that. So, and all of the clubs just happen to play in those leagues. So when FIFA is pulling out of the FIFA game, the only thing that goes away is the FIFA brand. And anything that comes along with that, which is the World Cup and nothing else.
So you can still keep the teams?
You will have the leagues, you will have the teams, you will have the players, you will have every single fucking thing except for the FIFA name brand on the game.
Who gives a shit?
And FIFA thought that their name being on this game and putting their official stamp of approval on it was worth $1 billion a year.
Jesus Christ.
That is the licensing fee that they requested from EA, because they see that FIFA soccer is doing really well every year in sales. It's generating revenue, and they're like, we are getting shortchanged. We need a bigger piece of this pie.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. Now keep in mind, FIFA annually generates about $1.5 billion. So somehow FIFA is like, yeah, like this is this is the move. This is the move. Like we won $1 billion. EA was like, no, and they couldn't figure it out.
Yo, that's hysterical.
That is only mildly hysterical, Micah. The thing that's actually hysterical, and I have to find it because it's not linked in this Eurogamer article, is FIFA's response.
While you look for the response, I will ask you: Does FIFA know that everyone hates FIFA?
FIFA is not aware that everybody hates FIFA. FIFA has never been aware that everybody hates FIFA. FIFA truly does think that they are the straw that stirs the proverbial drink. And I found the quote. So Gianni Infantino is the president of FIFA, and he looks like a tiny baby. His face does, which is funny. Here's the quote from him in the wake of this news. Quote, "I can assure you that the only authentic real game that has the FIFA name will be the best one available for gamers and football fans. The FIFA name is the only global original title. FIFA 23, 24, 25, and 26, and so on. The constant is the FIFA name, and it will remain forever and remain the best." So apparently, the plan here is FIFA is going to license themselves out to other game studios to make these soccer games. And they somehow believe that just because the FIFA name is attached to the project, that it will be the best football game on the market.
Oh my God! Wouldn't it be just the tits if they went to Konami and said, "Hey guys, we want to put our branding on your soccer game," not knowing anything about it?
Yes, it would be fucking hilarious if that were the case.
Oh, please let that happen. Please let that amount of hubris exist in the world. Wow, yeah, this guy does kind of look like an Infantino.
That's where the name comes from. I also can't wait for an upstart football game to run into the cavalcade of exclusive licenses that EA has amongst many of the different clubs and organizations in world football, including a little club known as Barcelona, who they're the only football game that Barcelona can appear in any way, shape, or form. And a few of like the German football teams as well, I think, are FIFA exclusives too.
Look, I don't know anything about Gianni Infantino, so I jumped on his Wikipedia, and there are 4 photographs of him on here. Right? There's the main picture, right? That accompanies the article, and then there are 3 more. Would you like to guess who he's in these pictures with?
Okay. I can absolutely do this. Vladimir Putin is going to be 1.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right, that's number 1. They haven't done enough in. I would say MBS, but I don't feel like they've done enough.
Ding,
in
ding,
Saudi.
ding.
Oh, really? 2 for 2. Oh, the third one.
The third one hits very close to home.
It's not Trump, is it?
Ding, ding, ding.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
God.
all I need to talk. That's all I need to know. That's it. That's all I need to know about this guy.
Well, there you go. There you go. So,
holy shit.
And the other best part is apparently they even gave EA a short-term extension so that they could put out a World Cup game this year because the World Cup is happening at the later this fall. So EA is basically going to get all the benefits that they want, like they're going to get to put out the World Cup game and all this jazz, and like FIFA walks away from the table. EA is going to continue printing money because people play FIFA not because it says FIFA, but because the game is fun and Ultimate Team is a thing that exists. And FIFA will make some fucking backwoods soccer game with some upstart developer that'll be shit, that'll struggle to get licenses. Like I have to like Konami, who is the other big player in the space, can't even get licenses for a lot of the major clubs in world football. Like forever in Pro Evolution Soccer, like there hasn't been a Manchester United or a Manchester City. There has been a Manchester Blue and a Manchester Red. And there's been a London Red for Arsenal and a London White for Tottenham Hotspur. And there's plenty of other teams that they also can't say the actual name because they can't get the license to put the team in the game, even though you know, obviously, like who it is.
That's hilarious.
This is wild to me. I'd heard this story before. Like I had heard that FIFA came to EA and was like, "Give us $1 billion, please," and EA's like, "Kiss my ass." Like, and so like I figured that was like the starting point for negotiations. Like I figured that EA would still end up giving them like, you know, like somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 or maybe even less than that, like, you know, tens of millions of dollars a year. Because if you're FIFA, like, what are you doing? This is free money.
Yeah, man. Like it's like starting negotiations really high and then not budging.
Yeah.
What?
You like if you're FIFA, you could even be like, hey, like we'll license this, but not exclusively. Like we'll license with other people too. Like, but you know, you'll still pay a hefty licensing fee, and EA will be like, whatever. Like they'll still be happy because they can call the game FIFA or whatever. But like FIFA's just it's the hubris to think that like you think your name is the reason why this game sells, you know, 15 million copies a year and people spend $1.5 billion on it a year.
Yo,
It's not because it says FIFA on the
No,
cover.
it's really not.
That's like Travago coming to Chelsea and is like, "We want $1 billion if you want the privilege of having our logo on your fucking uniforms." What the fuck? Like, come on, yo.
So insane to me. But I like I said, this was one of the funniest stories that I've ever read in my entire life because again, it is the most on brand that FIFA has ever been in the entire life. Because if there's nothing that FIFA has not found, it is a cent to squeeze out of somebody for ridiculous reasons. FIFA is literally the most corrupt organization in the world. Point blank. Period.
I do yourself a favor and go watch John Oliver when he's talking about soccer and FIFA, and because he loves soccer, right, or football, right, and he just goes in on FIFA, and it's one of those things where he's like, I know it's wrong, but I just love soccer so much. I love football so much, guys.
Like as ass as FIFA is as an organization, like I'm still gonna be watching the fucking World Cup in November. Like people are fucking dying. Like there's like indentured servitude in fucking Qatar to build these fucking stadiums. And I'm like, this is horrible and wrong. I'm still watching this football competition because it only comes around once every 4 years, and America's back. Like it's gonna be very exciting.
Oh shit. Hey guys, go to densepixels.com/fans to gain access to our Discord. When you go to densepixels.com/fans, you can jump into Discord and you can look at all the cool stuff that's in there. Kids say cool stuff, don't they? Cool stuff, is that a term?
Yes.
You can talk about
those are two words that are still spoken by people.
You could talk about the latest in gaming news, wrestling, Formula One, Premier League. We talk about a lot of stuff in there, not just video games. So go to densepixels.com/fans. Go to youtube.com/densepixels. I'm trying out a new lens to see if I like it or not. So go there and look at my face. It's one of those lenses that I had to really push the camera back because I don't want you to see the Morgan Freeman dots all over my face.
You don't want us to see every single pore on your face.
I really don't need that. I really don't. And I'm not wearing makeup again.
Is it a prime lens, Micah?
Yeah.
It is a prime lens.
It's
a prime lens with just like a minute bit of autofocusing so that I can put my hand in front of the camera and it's supposed to focus. There we go. So yes, I'm using my new prime lens. So yeah, go to youtube.com/densepixels and subscribe and hit the bell and all that good stuff. Podcasts, you want them? We got them. Subscribe to
in
Nerd
spades,
Apocalypse.
an abundance of podcasts.
In fucking
abundance.
podcasts.
Jesus Christ, you're going to be like, whoa, you're going to be, there are so many podcasts, you're going to be listening to so many podcasts, your head will spin, okay? Go subscribe to the Nerd Apocalypse, Black on Black Cinema, coming distractions, the weekly preview episode of the Look Forward Political Podcast, which I just listened to today. It was very good. And then subscribe to go to densepistols.com/premium. And for $5 a month or $50 for the full year, you get access to all of the other podcasts that we do, including The Airing of Grievances, No Time to Bleed, The Men with the Golden Tongues, which, as Brad pointed out, brand new episode coming soon on the latest James Bond film, the final Daniel Craig James Bond vehicle, No Time to Die. Upstage conversation and the full 2-hour this week episode of the Look Forward Political Podcast. Where I got a shout out because, as we all know, I am a political savant.
In reality, Jay complimented Micah and then immediately insulted him, like within nanoseconds, because he realized what he had done. The United States Federal Trade Commission has said they're going to be taking a strict look at some of the acquisitions in the video game space. They had already said that they're going to look at the blockbuster $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. But they're also going to be looking at the Sony acquisition of Bungie for $3.6 billion. They said that they would like to, according to sources that passed this along, the investigation may set back the closing date of the deal by 6 months, if not more, than what was originally planned by those folks. But basically, they know they're not going to be able to block at the FTC, not that they necessarily want to. But I think this is them signaling that they are going to be very aggressive in investigating these mergers and acquisitions, much more so than previous government administrations have been, which is all fine for me. Like I have zero issue with this. Like when this much money is changing hands and when it could have, wide-ranging impact on an industry, this is their job. Like this is what they're supposed to fucking do. So.
Get your politics out of my video games. I don't care. I want more Destiny. Wow. This is like you said. This is their job. Good.
Yeah.
Do it. I need you to do it with a couple other companies too that aren't video game related. Spread that love around.
Who are you thinking of offhand?
Maybe we'll talk about them later.
Oh, how's about that? Carrie, I must confess, because there's not a time where I could see a good deal come across my way and not be at least tempted to dive in. Right now, Monster Hunter Rise is on sale on the Switch for like $30.
It's also on sale on Steam for like $30.
Yeah, and I played the demo and I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's for me, but I'm like, yeah, it's $30. Can I make myself like this game? For
$30, I would recommend you pick up Monster Hunter if you've tried it. Maybe you're on the fence. Rise is absolutely the most accessible Monster Hunter game to sort of get into. It's very much it's got the easiest learning curve, I think, in terms of overall difficulty and how it eases you into the game. So yeah, for $30. Yeah, fucking pick it up. Today there was a Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak digital event. So Sunbreak will be what they have been referring to as the massive expansion. It's the equivalent to what Iceborne was for Monster Hunter World. So we have a new home base. We've got whole new areas to explore, new monsters, new storyline. It's basically it's like the same amount of content that was in the original game, I think. So the event gave us a little more details about the flagship monster of this franchise, Malzeno, who is based on a vampire. He's a real spooky guy. And so there are 3 new main sort of monsters in there. We've got Malzeno. We've got I don't even remember what they're called, but there's one that's like a werewolf, and then there's one that's like a Frankenstein. So they're leaning into the spooky monsters sort of aesthetic here with the new monsters. And what's interesting with Malzeno, they introduced this new mechanic that hunters will have to deal with called blood blight. So blood blight, if you're infected with it, it will drain health from you.
Mm.
Now, if you damage Malzeno while you have blood blight, you get health back. But if Malzeno absorbs enough of your health, it basically gains like a new form. So that'll be interesting to see. Um, we've got some returning monsters. The big one announced today was Seregios, who was actually one of the flagship monsters of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. So that's fun. Seregios was not in World, so excited to see Seregios in this. And then we've got some new subspecies, including Aurora Somnicanth and Magma Almudron. I'm really excited for Magma Almudron. Almudron's one of my favorite fights in the base game of Monster Hunter Rise, so I'm really, really glad that they gave him an interesting variant. So, some other stuff announced today. New skills and the ability to sort of switch your skills on the fly. They also added what they're calling follower quests. So if you're playing in single player mode, you will have the option to basically take NPC parties with you, which is not something that they've ever done before. So that's just new stuff. New stuff is happening. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is out at the end of next month. I want to say June 30th. Yeah, June 30th on both Switch and PC at the same time. Sunbreak expansion will be available as a DLC purchase for $30, and then as a bundle paired with Monster Hunter Rise, the base game, for $70 total. So, I mean, even then, you end up saving $10 if you think you're going to get into it and you buy Monster Hunter Rise Vanilla now, because that means you've got basically 2 months to get your Hunter rank up so that you can access all the new content by the time Sunbreak comes out. So I'm excited.
You seem excited.
Monster Hunter good.
Yeah, it seems like Nintendo has they just put the roadmap out till the end of the year, and it seems like there's basically one kind of big release every month coming from them, which is good because that's the one thing I think that Nintendo's been pretty poor at is getting tentpole titles out on the Switch at a pretty steady clip. So
yeah. I mean, ultimately, this is also coming to Steam at exactly the same time. I will be playing this on Steam. I'm probably not going to worry about getting the expansion stuff on Switch. The game simply runs better on Steam than it does on Switch, to the surprise of absolutely no one.
Wasn't it built for the Switch specifically?
It was built for the Switch specifically, and then basically people like banged on the table and said, "Where's the PC version?" And then they decided to come out with the PC version, which is why we didn't get the PC version of the base game until earlier this year, because it took them like 10 months to put the game on PC because they had to port everything. So, but Sunbreak, the expansion, will be releasing for both systems simultaneously.
Excellent.
But you can catch me playing on Steam. Running Lance, and exclusively Lance, as always.
I wish I could get into that game. I tried. I gave it the old college try, but I couldn't find a weapon that I liked. Yeah. Before we do the ad, I played Trek to Yomi.
Okay. Is it what everyone said it is? Very pretty, very cool looking, not really fun.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, the reviews killed any like enthusiasm that I had towards playing that game.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy it. Thanks to Game Pass for putting this thing out there. It looks beautiful. It looks great. It's one of the best looking side-scrolling like action games ever. But like you could just bang one button and just kind of get through it, and it's just boring. So yeah, I don't necessarily recommend it, but it's worth playing, right? It's worth trying if you have Game Pass, but I don't think it's worth the $20. Yeah, if you want to spend $20, go to densepixels.com/Amazon. When you go to densepixels.com/Amazon, you can order whatever you want, right? You're not paying any extra, right? And you help us out just a little bit. So buy a lot, buy big. I'm at densepixels.com/Amazon. Pick up where you left off. So I see my wife was here last.
It is always terrifying.
Yep, you can buy 24 stemless plastic champagne flutes, 9 ounces, plastic glasses, because we bougie, but we cheap. For $19.99. There you go. You're gonna spend $20. Go to densepixels.com/Amazon. Get yourself 24 stemless champagne, plastic champagne flutes, for $19.99. Brad,
better worse deal than Trek Diomi.
This is a better deal because you can get drunk off of champagne. And there's really no other joy that you can get out of Trek from Yomi other than just kind of looking at it and then just like, all right. But I can make a mimosa or whatever it's called. The healthy champagne. Brad, you are a fan of the esoteric sports. Esoteric, at least from a
from a Yankee point of view,
right? Like literally everyone else in the world.
So you're a fan of the two most popular sports in the world that nobody in America watches.
Maybe you would be interested in a show that I just started watching. I can't believe no one ever told me to watch a show on Netflix called Formula One Drive to Survive. I started it today, and I watched the first 2 episodes of season 4, and it's really interesting,
isn't it? Though,
like. It actually is like I'm trying to see who I like and like what constructor see I'm picking stuff up. What constructor I like and what racer, right? And I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I've always been a fan of like McLaren, like supercars. Like I just like the way they look. So I think I'm going to kind of root for McLaren. And what's dude's name?
Daniel Ricciardo.
Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
I like the cut of his jib. He seems like a nice enough dude. Apparently he sucked last year.
He hasn't been doing too hot this year either so far. I think Danny Rick might be my favorite driver on the grid, honestly. Like he's too much fucking fun.
Yeah, man, I like that dude, man. And I'm rooting for him. You know what I mean? Like he's got a good story, right? Like apparently he was like hot shit when he was with Red Bull, and now he's just kind of, trying to like something happened, right? And he's gotta get back to where he was. I like that as a story.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like this is super fucking interesting, and I get it. I like the team sport aspect of it, but also like, the friendly rivalry aspect of it. You know what I mean? This is super interesting, man. And shame on you for not bringing this to my attention. What kind of friend are you, man?
I'm glad you started watching it. I'm curious that if you really dig this, if you go back and watch the other seasons, so you can kind of build like the knowledge of previous years, and follow some of the guys, because like Danny Rick, like they followed for all 4 seasons, because he's actually been with a couple different teams as the series has gone on. Because the first season he was still with Red Bull, and then he went to Renault the following year for a couple of years, and this is the first season. The season you're watching was his first season with McLaren. Like this year's his second year. And so like I said, it's a really good show. They do a great job, especially onboarding new fans, because they kind of deliver things to you in a way that's digestible. I already know like who your favorite people are going to be. I get the sense you're probably not going to like Christian Horner very much. I feel like you're probably going to lean more on the Toto Wolff camp. as far as the team principles, because those two were prominently featured throughout the whole season, as you'd expect.
Yeah, like the first episode was all about like uh uh fucking Mercedes and Red Bull, yeah.
Yeah.
And they call that dude like he's just a finance guy. He doesn't know anything about that. He inherited he inherited fucking Mercedes, man. Like this shit is the pinnacle, right? And you know, part of me is like, fuck Mercedes, right? Because they're like hot shit, and I want to root for an underdog, but at the same time, like I want to root for a winner.
Yeah, I was saying Red Bull is not an underdog in any way, shape, or form. Like literally all with. I'm trying to think how far you have to go back. I think that every title every constructors championship since 2009 has been won by either Red Bull or Mercedes.
Yeah, they were like Mercedes won like the last 7 years or something like that.
Yeah, seven in a row.
So yeah, like fuck them, but like at the same time, like I'm coming in this kind of fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to be that guy that just kind of like roots for like the winner, right? But at the same time, like I want to root for everybody black. So like, oh, Lewis Hamilton, I root for him, but he plays for the winning team, right? So it's but no, I'm kind of a McLaren guy, and I like what's his face? I'm terrible with names, guys.
Danny Rick. You can just say Danny Rick.
Danny Rick. There you go. I'm partial to him, and I'm rooting for him, right? Like I'm hoping that he can kind of bounce back. I don't know what's going on. I know everything has just kind of been like, I know everything is kind of done for this season. I remember from last year we were talking about this, and we were talking about like the like drama.
Mm-hmm.
And even season 4 opens with people tweeting about how like, yo, this season of Drive to Survive is gonna be off the fucking wall, man. So yeah, I'm into it.
That's good. Like I said, I'm looking for. I'm one of my most like I watched it like the weekend it came out. So something that was really entertaining for me was Jay like live tweeting me as he was watching episodes, like with reactions, because I knew exactly like what points in the show he was reaching, especially when we get to the last 2 episodes of the show. It gets fucking wild. Jay's a big Total Wolf fan, and as the season progresses, like you will understand why that is. He loves Total Wolf. He thinks he's the bee's knees. That's awesome. Yeah, the Miami Grand Prix, the inaugural Miami Grand Prix was this past weekend, and it was a big fucking deal in the States. Like, and yeah, F1 was really excited about it. Too bad the race itself was pretty boring until there was a safety car towards the end of the race, which made it actually exciting for the last 15 laps or so. But yeah, so hopefully we'll see if we get a better race weekend the next one, because I think Baku is next, and that's an interesting circuit because they do it right on the streets in Azerbaijan and have like a castle that they drive next to, which is kind of nice, kind of wild. Couple new games this week. Songs of Conquest coming to PC. This War of Mine Final Cut gets a new generation release. Unpacking comes to PlayStation. It's been on Xbox and PC for a while. Brigandine comes to PC. Source of Madness, this is a game I'm interested in, comes to the PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. This is a 2D roguelike with kind of like a Lovecraftian theme attached to it. Pretty cool art that I've seen in the game. Achilles Legends Untold comes to PC. Cantata comes to PC. The Centennial Case, a Shijima story, comes to PC, PlayStation, and Switch. Flippin' Cactus comes to PC, and then Evil Dead the Game comes to PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. This is a one versus many game based in the Evil Dead universe. So think Friday the 13th or Dead by Daylight or any of those.
Yeah, I was going to say Dead by Daylight.
Yep. We go to the post office. We'll start with Daniel, who asks, has anyone ever played or sold a game, because we all used to work for GameStop, that is rated adults only?
So I actually have the list of AO rated games, because there aren't many, right? Like there's There's not a lot. Most of them are just shitty porn games. So the only games that I have played that are technically rated adult only are the original release of GTA San Andreas
I would say that's the one that everyone's played.
and the original release of Manhunt 2. That's it though, because everything else, I didn't realize they started rating games AO back in 1993. I didn't realize that was a thing that early. But yeah, there's all sorts of just stupid porn games
Yeah.
rated AO. Crystal Fantasy, Cyber Photographer, All Nude Nikki. Like, who's buying this stuff? Like, there's one that's just called Sexy Games. That was a mobile phone game in 2000, rated adult only. I would love to see what exactly it was. It was probably just like tits out in your mobile phone game in the year of our Lord Y2K. Like,
there's one called Wet the Sexy Empire, and it has a Wikipedia entry.
oh, it sure does.
Wow. Okay.
There's also a 1997 adult action adventure game called Rihanna Rouge that was rated adult only. That stars a former Playboy playmate who just apparently has her Vaguber out and also has a gun. Like, I don't know what caused. You know what? It's fine. Y'all want to make horny games? You feel free. You make all the horny games you want to make, because some of the more recent ones are like basically Japanese visual novels. Because I was surprised to not see more of these like porny visual novel games, and then I realized that most of those don't ever get official English translations, which means that they never get rated by the ESRB.
Yes.
So the only ones that do get rated by the ESRB are the ones that get licensed by Manga Gamer, and there's a couple of those that have ended up getting adult only ratings.
Yeah. And it's tricky to get those through official channels because most official channels won't carry them.
Yeah, Manga Gamer is really one of the only sort of licensing and localization companies that does Japanese visual novels, and they do a lot of them. They do like they've licensed and localized some of my favorites, including Higurashi and Umineko and whatnot. But yeah, there's they do a lot, and I guess I'm surprised that they've really only done a couple of titles that have ended up being rated adult only. But then again, a lot of these VNs end up being rated mature for sexual themes, and I guess once things get a little more explicit is when you end up dipping a toe into AO.
Yeah. Like I said, I get why these games exist, but I have to paraphrase or quote Micah, porn is free.
It really is, man. It really is. Like, you can go watch as many violent movies you want. You can go online and watch all the porn you want. You don't have to buy Wet the Sexy Empire. What? Okay.
Cam asks, have you all seen the Money in the Bank promo with Cody Rhodes, where he mentions the show is the chance for one male and one female superstar to main event WrestleMania? Do you think they will be dumb enough to change how the briefcases work? And if so, what do you think that means for the Royal Rumble?
God, I hope not, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like the whole gimmick of Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I mean, so like there have been Money in the Bank people that have held on to the case until WrestleMania and declared that they were cashing in at WrestleMania, or not declared it in the case of Seth Rollins and just stole the title. But here's the thing, like main event WrestleMania doesn't mean have the last match on the last day of WrestleMania anymore. Like they've used that term very loosely over the years. Like even going back to 2003 when they advertised like, oh, it's a quadruple main event. Like we have 4 main event matches on this WrestleMania card because they advertised all 4 of the last matches as quote unquote main events because of the magnitude of the match. And like they even talked openly this year, like Bianca Belair main evented WrestleMania because she had the last match, or last year rather, she had the last match on the first night. So that term I feel like is loose. I really don't think, because especially because Money in the Bank happens in June, you're not going to say, oh, you get this briefcase and you have to hang on to it for the whole year, because that also ruins the Money in the Bank briefcase. Like the whole point of the fucking briefcase is that you never know when someone is going to cash it in.
Yeah, like it's a storytelling device. That's all it is, right? And it's a storytelling device that can be used. It's the Royal Rumble device, but it can be used at any time. Like that's what makes it so provocative. The only way I could see that happening is it cheapens the Royal Rumble, right? Like
very much so, yeah.
So the only way I could see this happening, right, is if Roman's still walking around with 2 belts.
Mm-hmm.
If Cody challenges Roman for, let's say Cody wins the Money in the Bank, and he's like, I'm going to WrestleMania, right? But I'm going to challenge Roman for one of those belts, and that'll be the main event on the first night, right? Probably the black strap. And then Roman can still main event the blue strap on the second night, the real main event, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I see it working. But again, I don't like that idea because like it cheapens the Royal Rumble, it cheapens the Money in the Bank. You're cutting off an easy way to draw. Also, like Money in the Bank is great, but like it's only great when heels get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
also true.
Right? Because like, was a babyface gonna sneak attack you? Like, nah, yo. Like, they're not gonna do that. So, yeah, I don't want them. I hope that was just like a flub that they forgot to edit out. But
it would be nice. And plus, I really think that they like if they're gonna be doing 2-night WrestleMania, I think one of the women's title matches needs to be
absolutely
the main event of one of the nights. For sure.
Absolutely.
So, Esolife says, I know Micah is a fellow Marvel Strike Force player, and EA is going to be launching a Lord of the Rings branded hero collector later this year. Any interest in checking it out? And you cannot possibly play 2 hero collectors with the time that Strike Force demands. Correct.
1, I will check it out. 2, this person is 100% correct. I used to like just play a bunch of hero collectors, but like branded ones, right? Like with IP that like I like, right? Like I'm not gonna go. What's the one that's always on like YouTube ads?
Fuck. God knows I've watched enough YouTube videos that I should know this off the top of my
like
head.
it's like a big orc and like a sexy orc or some shit like that, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? No, I'm so pissed at the ads that I'm just like, I refuse to buy this or download it. But I did play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I did play the Star Trek one, and I did play the DC Legends one. And I say did because that's a lot to kind of juggle around and play Marvel Strike Force at the same time. So I only play Marvel Strike Force now because there's just too much. It's too much like time management, right? Mm-hmm. Like you gotta go in and at certain hours of the day, and they're all different hours, which also fucking sucks. So I stopped playing all of them except for the Marvel Strike Force one, because that takes enough of my time, and I'm trying to unlock Doctor Doom, and then once I unlock Doctor Doom, I can fucking throw my phone away because like That's all I've ever wanted, and it's taken me fucking years to do it. Years, literally years to try and do it. So yeah, once I unlock it, I can just throw my damn phone away because I will have completed my life.
I might check out I might check this out, but I have a feeling that Blizzard is going to own my mobile phone in about a month's time.
Yeah, buddy.
Because Diablo Immortal looks legit, I gotta say.
Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. I was like, all right, pre-order.
So we'll see
Remind me
what
when
happens.
it comes out.
Johnny says, what are some gaming builds or characters that you refuse to play as, like a healer, a sniper, tank, grappler, etc.?
I'm not good with grapplers and fighting games. I'm not good with. I'm a turtler. I'm a charge guy. I'm a guile. I'm a balrog. That's who I play in fighting games. I'm a charge guy. I don't understand how a Chun-Li player plays fighting games, and I don't understand how a grappler plays fighting games. I understand a grappler more than a Chun-Li type character. With like role playing games, like when I used to play Final Fantasy online, I I gravitated towards paladin, and I generally did not play thief classes. Um, it just felt like too much work,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially like thieves, because you had to like venture out and pull mobs to you, and then hope that the tank is good enough to pull aggro, and then you gotta make yourself disappear and then go behind and sneak attack, but you can't sneak attack too much because you don't want to pull aggro from this punk ass tank that can't hold it. And it's just like, and then I'm made of fucking tissue paper, so if I get hit, well, I'm down. And it just, I've never gravitated towards like thief classes and stuff like that. Ranged, maybe. But thief classes, no. I can't do rogues or thieves.
Carrie.
I like playing tanks. I am a tank main in FF14. I've got Gunbreaker and Dark Knight maxed. I love playing Dark Knight. It is probably the worst tank class, but I like it a lot. I'll play DPS. I'll play melee DPS. I'll play range DPS. I don't fucking like playing healer, man. It is so stressful. It is so stressful. I've done some stuff on Astrologian in FF14, and I don't like it. I don't like playing healer. It is stressful. It's too much. I want to hit the monster, but instead I have to keep the tank alive.
But
I can't hit the monster. I can't do both.
You can't, but you can't heal the tank too much, because then it don't matter if you want to hit the monster. The monster's gonna fucking hit you.
Yeah.
And then and yeah,
It's
man.
so stressful. My husband is a white mage main in FF14. He's always been like a healer kind of main, and I don't get it. I don't understand where that comes from. I guess it's the same kind of patience as to why he married me.
Yeah, you guys are yin and yang, man. That's why y'all work.
And I don't do caster DPS classes either, so like I won't play black mage or anything like that. I want to run up to the monster and stab it in the face. I don't want to worry about cast times and cooldowns and shit like that. It's too much.
You don't get off on big numbers like most black mages get off on like 4-digit damage.
No, well, I can do 4-digit damage in Dragoon. I can buff myself. I can hit the monster 4 or 5 times in the same amount of time it costs you to, waste all that MP summoning some bullshit. I don't want. It's too much. I don't like that. It requires a higher level of brain power than the 2 smooth stones inside my head can deal with. I just,
Look, I'm with you. I prefer like a monk class, right? Like I like physically going up and punching things, and then like using like 100 fists or whatever, and just fucking beating the shit out of people.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
I don't play fighting games, so I ain't gotta worry about any of that. I simply do not participate.
I hate support classes in class-based games as well. I much rather would deal damage or get hit a lot. And also like support classes in games where like you can help like buff teammates, not just heal, are also annoying because if the teammates don't do a good job of taking advantage of your buffs, then it pisses you off. And I don't I don't like my good play to be reliant on other people also playing well. Fighting games, you guys know if you've listened to the show for a while, I'm fucking Shoto all the way, baby. Like I don't fuck with charge characters. I can mess with grapplers in fighting games, but me and Mike are direct opposite in that regard. I will play Shotos all day. That's my preferred style, but not charge. I'm awful with charge characters in fighting games. So, and then Daniel comes back and says cake or pie.
On 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, cake.
Pie.
Cake.
Ugh.
Fuck you,
That's
Brad.
what I'm talking about, Carrie. That's what I'm talking about. See? That's why you're here. Pie.
Everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion. It's fine. Like you guys can be wrong.
No.
You guys can be wrong.
No, incorrect.
Now here's the thing though. So my favorite dessert, I need to ask you guys where on the cake pie spectrum this dessert lands. Because to me,
Are you saying cheesecake?
Cheesecake's a
Cheesecake
pie.
is a cake.
Cheesecake's a pie to me.
The word cake is in it.
I understand that, but I think that's false
not a
advertising.
No,
It
no,
doesn't.
no.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Cake is in it. If the word cake is in the dessert, it's a cake.
It's only because it doesn't roll like cheese pie doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
I understand why you would consider it a pie due to the construction of the cheesecake. I have made many cheesecakes. I believe y'all have had my cheesecake. I believe Micah told me never to bring cheesecake around him again because my cheesecake would give him diabetes. And I understand that. But look, cheesecake is a cake, and it's because of the consistency. And it's a cake.
Yeah,
Cheesecake is a cake.
It's a cake.
It's not
Get
a
out
pie.
of here. Get out of here.
Pie is vastly
That would be
superior.
like-
Cake
that would be like-
Pie
sucks.
is not superior to cake.
Cake is awful.
If I want to eat loose, sweet fruit, I will simply make a fruit salad. Am I wrong? Look me in the eye and tell me I'm wrong.
Think of how many amazing pies there are. And like how many amazing cakes are there really? How many amazing
pies,
cakes are there really?
amazing pies? How many pies are there? Apple pie, cherry pie, key lime pie.
Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie.
No.
You pumpkin, get out of here with your
All right,
fucking
all right.
anti-pumpkin
Sweet potato
pies.
pie. All right, sweet potato pie.
Get out of
Sweet
here.
potato pie. All right. I'll give
I
you sweet
fuck with
potato
some
pie.
pies.
Banana cream, fucking awesome.
Nope. Gross. Nope.
Honestly,
Nope.
there are some
Bananas
things
look
that are
like
pies that are
penises and
really
cream looks
more
like
tarts
jizz. Get
than
outta here.
pies.
But here's my problem with cakes. That cakes have too much variance in what you're gonna get because it is very easy to fuck up a cake. Super
It's just
easy to
as
fuck up a cake.
fuck up a pie. Are you
No,
kidding
it's a
me?
lot. It's much harder to fuck up a pie.
Disagree.
It's much harder to fuck up a pie. Thanks a lot, Daniel. It's the innocuous questions that always get you. Just because these two wrong-headed idiots over here fucking standing for cake. Get out of here. You're fucking cake.
Man. Cake, man. Cake. My wife is with you, Brad. She loves pie.
That's because she's right.
Nah, yeah. She's also from Florida, Brad. So that's my argument.
Now my wife is a cake person though. So like
course,
so that
because-
doesn't so that and again tough. It's always tough when you live with the opposite person because then they're always getting that.
My
They're always
husband's a
getting their
pie
thing.
guy. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
get
tough. It's tough, and that's why the cheesecake mends all fences because it lives in between.
Cheesecake is delicious.
Everyone likes it. That's the real answer. Cheesecake is the correct answer. It's just
There you go.
so. See, we can all find a happy middle ground to agree on, which is the best
There's
way.
a French Korean bakery out in Ellicott City that I need to pay a visit to sometime soon because they got some cakes, my guys. You want some cakes? I can get you some like fancy ass little cakes. Blow your mind.
If you would like to weigh in on the cake pie argument, as I'm sure many of you are going to, you can do that at densepixels.com/fans by joining our Discord and going into the episode discussion channel and weighing in and telling us whether cake or pie is superior. I have a feeling that many of you will be weighing in correctly, and then more of you will probably be weighing in wrongly, because I feel like that cake is basic, and all of the basic people out there will be choosing cake. So.
Oh man, any dumb shit can go to their grocery store, buy a pre-made pie crust, dump some shit in the center, and make a perfectly adequate pie. But it takes skill to make a good cake. I'm not going to entertain any arguments otherwise.
I mean, you can literally throw chicken and vegetables and goop and gravy in a pie and serve it to people. Like, here you go. I'm like, nah, yo, nah, I don't want that.
You can literally put any kind of trash in the middle of a pie crust, and suddenly it's a
I watched a movie once where a woman defecated in pie crust, and then and heated it up, and technically that is a pie. That is what I ascribe a pie to. Hello, son. How are you? All right. Maxwell, do you like cake or pie? What? Okay, no.
The true answer. Your son's a genius, really. That's what it is at the end of the day. Make sure you subscribe to this show as well as all the other TNP Studios shows wherever you get fine podcasts. Go to youtube.com/densepixels. Hit subscribe there as well. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/densepixels. Also follow us personally, densepixels Brad for me, Stuppets Carrie for Carrie, Apparition 410 for Terrence. Carrie, tell us about the musics.
Absolutely, yeah. So next Saturday, May 21st at 1 p.m. at the Solars Point Multipurpose Center here in Dundalk, Maryland, you can catch the Baltimore Gamer Symphony Orchestra's Console Wars program. It is a free concert. And yeah, we are leaning fully into the mid-90s Genesis does what Nintendo don't bullshit back and forth rivalry between the companies. So you're getting a set that's literally split down the middle, half Genesis, half Nintendo. So you're going to hear, obviously you're hearing Sonic and Mario, but you're getting Toe Jam and Earl, Echo the Dolphin, Restar, Phantasy Star on the Genesis side. You're getting Street Fighter 2, Earthbound, Star Fox, Secret of Mana. Good stuff across the board. And then we're doing a choose your own finale program where we are going to have a Nintendo donation box and a Sega donation box. And whichever box has more money in it at the end of the night will determine which of the two prepared finale pieces will actually get played. I'm not going to tell you what the songs are, but I will tell you that they are iconic songs from iconic Nintendo and Sega franchises. So I did a lot of the arranging on the Sega side for this show. Come out. It's going to be a good time. It's a free show, 1 p.m. And it's video game music. And you get to hang out with me. And what's better than that? A lot of things. I understand that. But like, come for me and stay for the music.
That is it for us. I'm going to probably seek out a delicious pie so I can bask in my rightness. Thank you all for watching and listening. We'll see you all the next time.
See ya.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.